Yanai, 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 oh, yanai, 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 oh. Yanai, nai, nai, yanai, nai, yanai, nai, nai, yanai, 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 nai, yanai, 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 nai. Yai nai 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 yai nai nai yai nai 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 yai nai yai nai yai 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 nai nai ai 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 nai nai ai 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 ay 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 ay. Boker Tov, Ramah, Galim. I wish I could hear all of your voices answering me in person, but I know that you all are with me here with your ruach, with your spirit, with your ruach, for some morning tefillah. And for me, since I've been in my house a lot since the beginning of coronavirus, I thought it would be great to have a chance to go on a little adventure through tefillah this morning. So even though I might be in a house and not by the beach, I'm imagining the smell of the ocean when we're at camp and feeling that breeze in the morning. And sometimes we huddle a little closer to our friends to keep warm during those kind of gray mornings. And we find the sun in our singing and in our spirit and in our adventuring. So this morning we're going to go on a little tiyul, a trip, a tiyul through our tefillah. And I hope you'll join me. So to kind of jump into that, before we start the day, when we're at camp, we always make sure that we have the stuff that we need. Before we go to Betoch Hayam or Al Habama or Etgar or whatever our specialty in our day might hold, we have to make sure that we have our sunscreen and we have our water bottles and we have everything else. And there's actually a prayer that does exactly this, that the whole point is to make sure that we're ready for the day. And it used to be that when we would say this tefillah, we would actually use it as an opportunity to be getting ready. So we're going to go through that today and pretend that we're at camp and really get ready for our day. And maybe you'll need these things if you go outside today. So I hope you'll join me, and you can find all of this information, or all of these, you can follow along with me. I'll kind of lead the words and you can just be in it and just enjoy. And hopefully we'll be in it together. So we're going to start with Birkot HaShachar, which are our morning blessings. And you'll see there's different components where we're going to kind of incorporate the stuff that we have to bring along on our journey. So we're going to start with Birkot HaShachar. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lasafin bina leavchin ben yom uven laila. Praised are you, God, who helps us distinguish between night and day. So we're going to make sure that we have our hat so that we're clear from the sun during the day. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asani betzalmo. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asani Yisrael. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asani bat chorin. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam pokeach ivrim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam malbish arumim, who clothes the naked. So we make sure when it's chilly outside for tefillah that we put on a jacket. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. So kev kefufim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam rakah haaretz al hamayim, who creates the heavens and the earth. And we make sure that when we go outside to enjoy the heavens and the earth and the ocean, that we bring our shemesh asur. So we've got some sunscreen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asali kol tzarki. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamechin mitzadei gaver. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam ozer Israel bigvura. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam oter Israel b'tifara. Praised are you, God, who crowns us with glory. And we can't have glory unless we have water, so we're going to bring our water bottles with us. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hanoten laya'ef koach. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Ma'avir sheina me'enai tnuma me'afapai. So now we have our Shemesh Asur, our sunscreen. We have our hats. We have our sweaters if it's a little cold outside. So we're ready to go on this big adventure. And if we were on an Etgar trip together, and that was our adventure for the day, we would have to be making sure that we not only had the stuff for during the day in the sunlight, but for the nighttime when we were ready to settle in. So for that, we need some tents. So maybe you all can help me with a little matovu, which is another thing that we say in the morning about dwelling together and being excited to be together. And I'm really excited to be with all of you. So while we're singing Matovu, I'm going to attempt to make a tent out of this piece of paper. We'll see how it goes. I'm not so great at origami, but I think with all of your ruach and all of your thinking, that together with all of that power and all of that energy, we can make something that looks a little bit like a tent. So join in with me in some Matovu. The beauty of this is that you can sing as loud and as off-key as you want. You can even kind of like dance around, and it doesn't matter because you get to do it in your own home and with the people that you love there. So I hope that you'll join me in being a little bit wacky. And you, if you have a piece of paper nearby, can feel free to try to make your own tent. And if you want to even post it up, you can show us what those beautiful tents look like. Maybe it's going to be a little nicer than my little origami here, but we'll see how this goes. So join in with Matovu. Matovu, ohalecha Yaakov, mishkenotecha Yisrael. Matovu, ohalecha Yaakov, mishkenotecha Israel. Matovu, ohalecha Yaakov, mishkenotecha Israel. So I'm curious what tents you all have going out there. Mine is looking a little floppy, but this is as far as I got. So I hope that you have more secure tents than mine, because I don't know, I might get a little blown over. But we have our tent set up now, and we're all ready for our adventure. And so now that we've gotten here to this place that we're imagining with our tents and all of our stuff, we kind of feel a little grateful, right? I know I do. If I managed to actually pitch a tent, it would be a really big deal. I always rely on my friends for that part. So with that gratitude, we're going to turn to a part of our service that really is all about that. The whole point of Psuke de Zimra, I know that's a funny word, I'll say it again, Psuke de Zimra, it's like these psalms of praise and song. We're really going to like lift up that gratitude. So we're going to turn to one that I know is one of my favorites from camp, because we all get to bring along these imaginary instruments. And since we're already on kind of an imaginary adventure that involves ocean and forest and hats and sunscreen and everything else, we can now bring along our kind of imaginary instruments. So maybe you're bringing along a tuba or a trumpet or a drum or whatever it might be. But I hope you'll join me in this, and we're in Psalm 150. Hallelujah, Bekodsho, Hallelujah, Birkia Uzon, Hallelujah, Bigvurotav, Hallelujah, Karov Gudlo, Hallelujah, Beteka Shofar, Hallelujah, Beneva Vechinor, Hallelujah, Betofu Machol, Hallelujah, Beminim Beugav, Hallelujah, Betziotele Shama, Hallelujah, Betziotele Trua, Kol Anshemat Hallelujah, Hallelujah, Kol Anshemat Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. I was just imagining in my head all of you with your instruments and all of the noise we would have if we actually had all those drums and trumpets and everything else. So I hope you can think with me for a second about all of that noise, about what it might sound like, about if we were all excited and we all had instruments in our hands. And I think it would sound pretty awesome. So we've put on our clothes, we've pitched our tent, whatever it might look like. We've sung a little bit of gratitude, and now it's time to make sure that we're settled in. We just had all of this noise in a really, really beautiful way. And then we get this opportunity to, as opposed to making all this noise, to do a little bit of listening. And this is one of my favorite parts of tefillah in the morning. It's the Shema. And this is the part where we really, really listen. And the other thing that this allows us to do is that it kind of reminds us that it's not just our ears that are in this prayer, but our entire bodies. Because when we look at the Shema, it talks all about when we're supposed to share these words and when we're supposed to be in community together. And part of it is about